Oh no, Sky Striker decided that it wanted to play along with Mitsurugi. Now make sure you guys smash the living crap out of that Lansing, Michigan button so you guys don't miss out on more content. Yeah, this one was in my backyard, but I was too busy playing Gundam, so I didn't get to go to this. So this regional breakdown is kind of interesting for what we're expecting up until, the release of the next set, because you had two very interesting meta challengers in the room. One of which was the Sky Striker Mitsurugi variant, which I hadn't expected anybody to test out that deck, and it's actually kind of interesting because that deck is marked as Sky Striker with a Mitsurugi package in it. So when we actually kind of get to the deck here in a second, you'll be a little bit impressed with that. Now, we did have two Vanquish Soul duels. Vanquish Soul has been doing pretty all right recently. It was the best deck in the room and ended up winning the event. There's nothing too shocking about that. We also had Lunalight Branded, which ended up being one of the decks that actually just kind of ran it home for this event. I don't know if people just weren't ready for it, but one of the duelists was talking to me about how Branded Fusion is just one of the best, get your opponent to ash it and then proceed to do like Lunalight combos. So that's something to think about, though. Branded Fusion being that magnet actually works out in your favor for this deck. We also had a Draco Tail duelist. Nothing really too special there. They were taking advantage of the branded package. We also had Malice. Malice still kind of continuing on with its little reign of terror. I mean, the deck managed to get top 4, which is nothing too crazy. And then we also had a regular Mitsurugi deck. So we technically had two Mitsurugi decks within Top Cut, but you do see your diversity being present here across the different builds, which is kind of cool, actually. Let's pass on over to deck list. All right, so winning our event here was actually good old Vanquish Soul. And yes, we are only playing one copy of Shifter in the deck. Obviously, you're still going to choose to play this. It's really funny because, we've had the bounce around. People are like, oh, do I really want to play the Shifter? Does the Shifter, navigate me advantage? Yes, it does, people. This card's a blowout if you actually do see it. Maximizing on the best cards in the deck, going with 2 Noroi. I think 2 Noroi is a good call because you are side decking the additional copy down here, so it's not like you don't have access to this if need be. We are also playing the Saruja now. Saruja being that little extra draw monster and the extender from the hand does get you some little free advantage, so I do kind of like that. Also do see we are side decking 2 Meows to kind of generate some little free advantage off of the opponent. Overall, though, this list looks good. You're also maximizing on triple case of Canine, which I think is absolutely just fine. Next up here, we have Draco Tail with our branded good stuff. Now, you are seeing we're just playing 2 copies of the Fallen and Virtuous. While I do like Fallen and Virtuous, and I do feel like at certain points that it is a card that does win you free games just by being able to have, one turn spinning into the next one and going along with that. That's where you do see that this list is side decking the additional copy down here if you need it. But also this list was side decking Chaos Hunter. Chaos Hunter was kind of put up on the pedestal as kind of one of the defining points of this deck's interactions. And honestly, I don't really blame you for that. Being able just to have a special summon that tells your opponent that they cannot banish just auto shuts Malice off of playing the game, invalidates Bystials. It is a very, very strong card for what it is meant to do along the way. So I do actually like this. This is actually kind of a nice little assister. And then we also have some Malice action. Now, Malice has not really changed that much. I think the most interesting tech choice here is the fact that they've gone with triple super polymerization to give them access to the 2 generics, but it also gives them access to Secatarion Dragon, because this also proves, the more that we see good old Draco Tail kind of being propped up on the pedestal as the very scary deck, you see players looking for ways to kind of circumvent that. You also do get to see, yes, Dimensional Fissure. I love that we get to see just how chaotically broken Dimensional Fissure can actually be as a card, because It feels very, very strong just slapping this down, turning on your entire Malice package, and watching a Draco Tail player just not be able to play the game. And it's not a lot of fun, nor is this card, but I digress. Next up here, we have more Vanquish Soul for you. Now, when you look at these Vanquish Soul variants, I mean, the most exciting things you're going to get are, how many Noroi are we choosing to play? All right, we're playing 2. That's okay, We can do most of our combo lines. What Mulch Armies we playing? We're playing triple Fua, we're citing the triple Meows and the triple Perulia. Okay, so we are accomplishing the standard ratios of what we wanted to be seeing. We've also got Bystials down here in the side deck, and we're also side decking the Snow Devil. I can understand the want to push Snow Devil to the side deck. Certain times it doesn't necessarily feel like the best card in the game, but at other points in time, having it as an access point for the side deck is going to kind of accomplish the same thing. Your goal is just to make sure that, I can get to it if I need it, and in most cases, I mean, if your opponent does have an interruption, oops, it just kind of falls apart as it is. So, card does feel very win-more-y these days. Next up is our Sky Striker Mitsurugi pile. Now, the major things to think about when you're looking at this variant are, are we going to have conflictions here with the Mitsurugi monster wanting to park itself back on the field? And I don't, as you can see, I mean, the most extensive things you've got for Sky Striker stuff are the engages, the linkages, the Widow Anchors, and of course the Hornet drones. That's your Sky Striker package that you're basically working with. You do see down here in the side deck that we do have the Jamming Waves in the side deck as a card that we can actually call out if we need to have it, because popping through a back row and then popping through a monster, using this to invalidate the Draco Tail spell negate is very good. You also don't see that this list is using the standard Sky Striker stuff that you're used to seeing. Actually, most of what you're using here is you're using the Area 0 or Ace 0 here to be able to toggle into 2 bodies on the field, which kind of gives you some fodder to do things. Previously, you'd use this combo to make King of the Feral Imps, but unfortunately, we don't have access to King of the Feral Imps anymore, which kind of has sent this idea back a little bit of time, but I don't think it's necessarily bad. Everything in your extra deck is also basically generic, which, by the way, if you just toggle an Ace 0 into an Exciton Knight to blow up the field, it's really funny that this is an actual extra deck choice that you actually do get access to for the deck, which is quite nice. We're also sealing the graveyard. We have access to the cross out if need be. We do see different dimension ground because, I mean, you do have 2 thrusts within the main deck, right? You are going to be seeing those power cards in the scenarios in which you are going to need them. We're also playing Black Goat last because, I mean, you're playing Thrust, right? You need to have the basic target to go into, so not too bad. Then we have some Lunalight madness here. So this is what we were talking about. You're playing the double branded fusion here as the little, please stop this so that I can basically go ahead and do Lunalight combo, which is kind of incredibly ignorant. We're also playing 1 heavy poly in the main deck. I also think that this is fine because this build has the additional 2 copies side deck down here, which are going to be accomplishing what you want them to, right? Your job is to get these into, going second and basically be able to break the opponent's board. Of course, you are playing 43 cards, right? You are going to be playing the Dominus Impulses. This is very, very good. A lot of people just are not prepared for Liger Dancer right now, and nobody's really respecting it. That's why this deck kind of feels like it's able to take a lot of people by surprise, because typically any time that you can produce a big boss monster like this, your opponent's going to just have massive issues trying to clean things up. And then last but not least, we have another Lunalight list. You see that this list was actually going to the triple heavy poly. You see 1 Fractal. We've also got the Fallen of Albaz built in here. We're also playing, the Branded Fusion. Once again, so what we're talking about. Anytime that you can get your opponent to stop this, it feels just really, really strong. Now, I mean, times are going to change out here when we do get the Fallen of White. And, you'll be able to do, the Incredible Ecclesia play lines in the future. And that's going to be a completely different creature. But really cool to see 2 of these actually performing up to standard. So what do you guys think about the breakdown for the Michigan Regional? Please leave a comment down below what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here in day, guys. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.